योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Now it's time to discuss some significant researches in the field of teaching reading. These researches provide easy solutions of the reading related difficulties. First of all, I would like to talk about a reading comprehension approach known as questioning the author. Isabel and Margaret, along with their colleagues, have investigated the importance of student discussion as a primary means for building reading comprehension skills. The approach that they developed guides students meaningful interaction around text information through questions such as, what is the author doing in the text? Why is the text written the way it is? How well has the author explained or connected the information for the reader? What could the author do to help the readers? The objective behind questioning the author is to make connections among ideas in the text, to explore information provided or inferred in greater details, and to become the primary interactants in discovering the central ideas of the given text. Through a series of studies, Isabel and Margaret have shown that getting students to become active participants in asking questions and forming answers to text information improves comprehension.
A lot went on in those couple of paragraphs. What did we just learn?
All right, somebody has to tell me what's going on. I'm confused. Please, somebody tell me what's going on. Monica, what's going on, please?
What happened? What happened in that paragraph?
It says that everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Why were they breathing a sigh of relief? Why are they so happy? Whoa, what's going on now? What's going on now? Martia.
Oh, you're making a face. Why?
Why would he go and grab a hatchet? I'm going to read something. It says, the prince grew angrier and tore downstairs again. He tore downstairs. Why would he do that? Linnell, why is he doing that?
What lesson do you think the author wanted to teach you with this story?
What do the pictures in the tower room have to do with his behavior? That doesn't make sense to me. What do those pictures have to do with his behavior? All right, we're going to focus on that. She thinks he died. All right, what in the story that you know that he might have died? Read what you found, or show me what you found. It says that he might have died. What in the story gave you that idea that he might be still alive?
So there's a robbery. Were they twins? Let's go back and double check that. Were they twins? Take that comment connected to the two stories that the two thieves or the two suspects told. How does this comment connect with the two stories? All right, I'm going to take the first part of what you said. You said the innocent guy would tell a story about a thief that was trying to catch a thief, somebody trying to catch a thief. How does that connect to either of those two stories that they told? Okay, I'm glad you pointed to that line. We can all go home and be thankful that justice has won again. How was it that justice has won again? What's that about?
Another significant research work is a study on the impact of fluency skills on reading. Despite so many arguments on the importance of reading fluency, relatively few research studies have confirmed a strong effect of multiple fluency skills on reading comprehension. A research study by Susan and John, however, provides powerful proof that fluency skills at multiple levels influence reading comprehension abilities among the learners. Now it's high time to discuss some evidence-based practices to improve reading skills. The first important practice is creating a vocabulary-rich classroom environment to support learning. Vocabulary-rich atmosphere in the language classroom and school corridors can be created by keeping students' written work, magazine, article, interesting newspaper and information from the website. It will grab the students' attention. Learners may be asked to generate meaningful group of words by moving words around on the word wall to assist them in remembering the words. Activities can then be created that oblige students to use words from the word wall in a meaningful way. For instance, speed writes, crossword puzzles, ranking activities, spontaneous speaking tasks, dialogues, and role plays. This video will help you to understand the real use of such activities in our reading classroom.
Hello and welcome to the Teachers Room, the show that's by teachers for teachers. I'm Dan.
And I'm Shan.
That's right.
And this episode's topic is...
Collocations are key to vocabulary building and they're a really great way to increase fluency in your students' speech.
And you can have lots of fun practicing collocations. We're going
right.
to show you some games and activities you can do in your class.
So basically the simplest thing you can do is to split your board in half or more and put verbs at the top of each column. Then read out the other half of the collocation, the noun, and students will come and write the correct column where the verb goes. Or
And you could turn that into a board race, make
Exactly.
it competitive.
Yeah. Okay, go.
I can't remember now. Ah! Oh no! Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh! You can also make this more physical by dividing the classroom into two. This is good for confusing verb-noun collocations. For example, have, get. Then you call out the noun and the students run to the area that collocates.
And don't forget that afterwards, when they're in there, you can get them to make a sentence using that particular collocation. A shower. Sean never has a shower. Okay, married. Wait. Something else you can do with young learners or, big kids in the classroom is to get your students to scrunch up paper into balls. Then, on the board, draw some targets and above each target put one half of a collocation.
And then they throw it.
Exactly. Good. Afraid. Bad. Angry. Stop the madness!
You can also turn this into a mingle activity.
Ooh,
So
I love a mingle.
Every student has a card.
Yay!
And then each card has half a collocation. They walk around the room, talk to everybody, and find their partner. Dan, I have fast.
I've got meal.
Fast meal, no match. Mario, what do you have?
Food.
Ah, perfect.
Maria?
Square.
Maria. And now we have a tip from a teacher that I met at IATEFL.
Ooh, is it a tip about collocation by any
It
chance?
is about collocations.
How perfect.
Imagine that. So this is Na explaining her idea on collocations. Take it away, Na.
My tip is for teaching collocations. I used to ask students to remember collocations. When they remember it, they forget it. Now I just remove words which could form the collocation away from authentic passages like IELTS or TOEFL reading or writing and let them fill in the blank. If they get it right, that's great. If not, they could get a better memory of it. That's it.
Thank you, Na. Now, if you have a tip like Na, we want to see it.
That's right. So you can find out how to get it to us by going to our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
And then you may get a t-shirt.
You may get a t-shirt. That's right.
Excellent. Now,
Right.
can we go and have lunch?
Or you could have a rest. Those
Have a
are
lunch,
two good
have a rest.
collocations.
They're very good collocations.
How about see you next time?
I'm going to have a nap.
Bye, guys.
I firmly believe that creating opportunities for comprehension skills practice is highly needed in the language classroom. Comprehension of central idea should be at the core part of reading instruction. Post-reading comprehension questions can offer good instructional opportunities if teacher asks students to point out where the text supports their answers, explain why an answer is appropriate, or engage in discussion about how to understand the text better. Class communication centered on main idea comprehension can start with post-reading comprehension related questions, but learners should be invited to follow up initial responses with further elaboration by multiple students. The next one is KWHL chart. The simple KWHL chart is a tool for encouraging strategic reading and motivating learners to read by having them explore what they have learned from reading the given material. Ask learners what they know, what they want to know, how they will accomplish their goals. The class can revisit the KWHL chart and report what they have learned and which strategies listed in the H column were most effective. They can also connect newly learned information listed in the L column with already known information listed in the K column to consolidate comprehension and long-term retention. We cannot forget to talk about the importance of prediction strategy in the language classroom. This video will help you to understand the prediction strategy. Prediction helps the reader to explain what they believe will happen in the text before reading. The teacher can perform this activity among different groups, also where the group members work together and come out with certain predictions regarding the content of the text. I would like to invite you to watch this video that will help us the actual use of prediction in the language classroom.
Hello and welcome to the Teacher's Room, the show that's by teachers for teachers. I'm Dan.
And I'm Sian, and this episode's topic is...
Reading is an important skill that your students will want to master, and so they'll need to practice in class. Now, most reading lessons have the same stages, don't they, Sian?
Yeah, you can start with a prediction, then you can have a gist, then a detail or scanning.
And then there's some sort of language extraction,
Yeah.
probably grammar or vocabulary. So what would you do with prediction, Sian?
Okay, well, lots of articles and texts have an image with them, or a heading, or a graphic. So why not take those off, give them to the students, and let them predict what they think the text is going to be about based on the image.
Very nice idea. And something similar is you can take a few keywords from the text itself and also give these to the students, either all at the same time or drip feed one at a time so that they keep predicting.
So what do you think's happening with this gorilla?
Maybe the gorilla is maybe he tried to steal the gorilla from the judge. Maybe he arrested the gorilla.
And then he bribed the judge?
Maybe
the judge is a gorilla.
Maybe the judge is a gorilla.
That's it.
A gist activity is one where students gain a general understanding of a text as a whole, but don't go into too much detail. And there are lots of ways that you can do this. First of all, you can get them to challenge the predictions they made in the prediction stage of the reading lesson. You can also get them to do true or false. Sian, what are you doing?
I'm preparing an activity, Dan.
For gist?
For gist.
Oh, great.
So,
Tell us.
Okay, so get your story, your text, screw it into a ball, and then the students can only read certain words. So they can't unwrap it, they have to work out what the story's about just from the words they can see.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I've got kiss, I've got embrace, I've got, candlelight dinner.
Okay, so this, it says here, cried for days.
Maybe it's a breakup.
I think so. So
Okay.
some people
So
fell
a
in
guy
love.
meet a girl. Yeah, okay. They had a candlelight dinner, then somebody cried for days.
Oh.
Teacher, we think it's a romance gone wrong. Scanning is an extremely useful skill for your students to learn. It allows them to find important information really quickly without reading the whole text.
Yeah, so like when you're looking at a menu or a leaflet or a timetable, you don't want to read every word. You want to find information quickly.
Yeah.
So why not do an activity that is quite competitive and kinesthetic?
Fun.
Fun, yes. So here we have a grass skirt. Here's my grass skirt.
Oh, I get it.
Each group has one of these. You pin them around the room and they have to run up to the wall, grab their piece of paper, run back, find the information in the text before coming back to find the next one. Come on, Dan!
How much does a student ticket for the zoo cost?
Okay,
£20.
No, students. 15.
£15.
Ah, get next question. So Dan, I reckon everybody watching this would love one of these t-shirts.
You
What do you
know
think?
they do. I think you're right.
So what do we want from them?
We want video tips.
Of what?
Of them demonstrating a teaching technique or a secret teaching tip.
And where do they go to find out how to send us this?
Go to our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
So what are you waiting for? Go there now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.